So as part of my conversion to the T5 system, I pulled out the old wiring harness and I have the new one next to it. But I want to focus on this plug here out of the old wiring harness. This is a plug I didn't know about, and it connects mostly to all of the AC system. And so if I want to keep my AC going, I needed to understand what all the wires went to. So there's basically 5 wires. This top one here is a blank. And I just want to quickly go through each one so you know what they do in the future. This car is a 1988 900 with the LH 2.2. So your car might be different, or the plug have different wires, but in any case, this is this particular plug and what they do. So starting at the top, there's this gray and red big thick wire. That one goes through and into these main relays. These relays are located above the ECU and the passenger footwell. And you can see the gray and red wire here. So this is a main power wire that's triggered when the ignition and ECU come on. So the AC won't run until this is turned on. This wire here will actually end up going to the AC relay, and then it comes back again into this big red wire, which we'll get into later. The wire right next to it is a blue wire, and this is the full throttle cutoff wire. So this blue wire goes into the ECU pin number 12. So when you hit the gas all the way, it essentially goes to the AC relay and turns off the AC relay, which turns off power to the compressor. Flipping the plug over, there's 3 wires. There's a green and white wire, and this is actually a pretty good wire to remember. It's a switched ignition wire, and so when you turn the ignition on, there's a relay. The AC relay supplies power to this wire, and this wire ends up going to the ECU, and it goes into, I'm looking at my cheat sheet, pin 18. So ignition on, relay. That's the green and white. The red wire is essentially the compressor power wire. And so this, if all of the various switches of the AC system provide continuity, then this wire gets power, and we can follow it along. Basically, it goes all the way down to the thermostat plug near the radiator and distributor. And if the engine temperature is okay, this will have continuity, so the power continues to go. And eventually it goes to the compressor. There's an interesting circuit in the power wire. It looks like a diode at some point because it's grounded using the same grounds that go on the intake manifold, and that was inside the harness. The last wire in the plug is looks like a red and white wire, and this goes into the ECU as number 16, AC idle increase. So when the AC comes on, the relay also turns this wire on, which goes into the ECU to let it know to idle faster when you're at idle. So that's pretty much all of the wires in this plug. And for the T5 conversion, you're going to want to use this whole plug, and you can use all of these wires into the new harness. The only thing you can probably skip, you probably don't need the temperature thermostat if you don't want, so you can just cut that part out. But other than that, hopefully that helps explain what this gray plug is.